Yeah. And now we're recording. Welcome to a CR discussion. I echo. It's Black History Month, which I'm already bored at the thought of. And I'm like, why ain't it Black History Year? Why don't we just have Black History? Why don't we just have Black? What's wrong with that? Black History Year. Every year, all year, Black History Year.
Hey, the Tom Jordan Morning Show, there was a little known Black History Facts 365.
Yeah, little known Black History fact, but I'm like, Black people making history now.
No, now stuff that happens now. Like one of the things I learned was that I can't remember her name. A black lady up north opened the first black-owned comic book and coffee shop. That was in the past 2 years, not 100 years ago.
I know.
You know, so they cover the whole gambit, which is why I mentioned them to you many times. They talk about old stuff, talk about new stuff, intermediate stuff that ordinarily you would not learn about and wouldn't know.
Our conversation today began. We was watching the Benjamin Dixon show.
Or listening to it.
Well, yeah, listening to the show, and he was playing clips from Malcolm X, and there was a part, and it got me riled up, where Benjamin Dixon, I think it was him, that said that Malcolm X was our manhood.
No, it wasn't him. It was a recording.
Some recording.
That was recorded right after he was murdered, I think.
Yeah, paying homage or exactly. Just revisiting.
Because I've heard it before. I've heard it over the years.
Okay,
before.
But you know what? I wouldn't have played that if I was Benjamin Dixon because I don't agree with that shit, and that was my whole thing. I don't play one. Here's one thing. I don't do the whole manhood thing, being a man, because to me you've already shown yourself as being a bitch in the first place. As soon as you try to be a man or a woman, you have to live by the beliefs and constraints of everyone else. So as soon as you say, oh, I'm a real man, or I'm a real woman, or I'm a real whatever the fuck it is, then you've already said, I am going to live by the rules be set onto me by society, by my community, by my surroundings, my family, my friends, whatever the fuck is around you. You have already said, I am their bitch. That's why I'm like, a real man, a real woman, or whatnot is the weakest person you could be. And when Malcolm X passing was a blow to Sheeple, but the problem is when you say he was our manhood, holy shit. No one is my goddamn manhood. I take serious issue with that. No one person's going to be my manhood, and it seems that Sidra had an issue with that because a whole lot of shit came up that we talked about for the past 40 minutes to an hour that I was pissed off about, so, that she wasn't, and we were all over the place.
So I'm going to try and be focused in my response to Cedric and what was said in that, I guess, eulogy, so to speak, for Malcolm X.
That thing.
Okay, so I get your point of view about man and womanhood. I have for the past 20 years. I get it. It's a pigeonhole. It limits you and puts you in a position that as a person, you may not want to be in because that's not who you are.
Man, that's a polite way of saying shut the fuck up about it.
No.
For the past 20 years, like, good grief. Your jokes ain't been funny for the past 10 years. Shut up now.
What I'm saying is I know how you feel about it, especially you being you. And to be honest, if you were a person back in those times, you probably would have got killed, unfortunately.
I'd be dead in the motherfucker. I really and you know what? The black people would have killed me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Black History Month, look, black people don't like black people.
Nope, and we can get to that in a second. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me finish my point so I don't forget what I was going to say.
All right.
Now, let's back it up to, I guess, back into slavery. Black folks were not people. A black man was not a man. He was a thing. A black woman was not a woman.
He was their property.
They were property. So there was a very profound importance to them to be seen as a man like the white men. And let's not even get to the stipulation.
Not like your own person, but like the white man.
Yeah, to be seen as equal and be given the same rights to be able to vote, to be able to work.
Yeah, go bleach and dye your hair, y'all. Hate yourself.
to be able to own land, stuff like that. Now, I'm not talking about being white as in I want to put on the ruffles and the white powdered wig and yada yada.
I know.
I'm just talking about the little basic things. Being able to go to work, bring home food, and not get persecuted.
You mean the same thing that they do?
Exactly. So there was a very profound focus on that, which didn't go away after slavery ended. It didn't go away during Reconstruction. It didn't go away at the rise of Jim Crow, which was still alive and kicking when Malcolm X was killed. Okay? So
Jim Crow ain't necessarily gone away either.
It's just morphed. But we can get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But so there was a profound importance, aside from the whole social connotations of it, just the very basics of it. So people have to be galvanized behind a cause. You can say what you want to say in the privacy of your kitchen table in the bedroom with your husband or wife, but at that time, they weren't going to say that shit out there. So they had to be galvanized by quote-unquote civil rights leaders.
Yes.
People like Medgar Evers. People like Rosa Parks, who wasn't trying to be a civil rights leader. She was just trying to get home. People like Malcolm X. People like MLK. So when they are galvanized by someone saying what they've been feeling all this time, they put their everything into them. I'm not saying it's wise, it's right, it's smart. I ain't saying none of that. I'm just saying that is what happens. So when they are cut down in the midst of their work to make things better, people take it extremely hard and they say things like that because they actually might feel that, because them getting up there saying what they had to say about how unfair and dumb things were gave them the sense of dignity and personhood they've been looking for all their lives. So yes, they said that he was our manhood.
I'd be hey, look, I just think it's best to say that he represented what a lot of people would consider their individuality, their manhood, their personal strifes, their desires for a better world. But man, when you say that somebody is everything that look, I got cock and balls. I'm over the age of 17. I'm a man. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't care if I was scrawny and gangly. I don't care if I was 675 pounds overweight. I don't care if I was hiding in the corner from a pack of ants. I'm still a man. That's just how that go. And it's people just doom themselves with that dumbass pride, man and woman shit. It's just stupid. And our political leaders, oh man, they weren't trying to be a man. If they were, fuck them. But to me, from what I could gather, from what I could see, none of them was trying to be a man. They were literally just trying to do the right thing, what they thought was best for society, the world. And I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up about black leaders. I'm gonna tell you what's real fucked up, and it's gonna sound bad, real bad. But the truth is, they weren't black leaders. They were world leaders. They wanted everybody to be all right together. They wanted everyone to just go outside, pick up the paper, share a thought, go inside, have their crumpets and tea, and say, today is fucked because of not us. You know, that's what they wanted.
And you're exactly right. And they started, like the video said that what Benjamin Dixon was saying, Malcolm X started out as a separatist. He just wanted to be black to be all unto his own. But as he grew and learned,
like, wait a minute, man.
He became, people across the world are the same. MLK, he started off in the black church, but as he traveled, gained supporters of all colors, nationalities, religious backgrounds, he learned. And as he got, he got, voting rights for black people in here, but he wanted more. He didn't want us to go to Vietnam.
Nope.
He wanted to support poor people. Poor is not a color. Poor is across the world. No matter what color you are, you can be poor. And he wanted to uplift the poor, no matter what color he was, or they were, and that is when he was eliminated. Just like Malcolm was eliminated when he became worldly, because
that's galvanizing the people, not a race, not a section. The rich, poor, in between and beyond and abroad.
Yes, between these borders and outside of them. And that is when they get really dangerous, and that's when they had to go.
I'm going to tell you what ticks me off. Black people, like Malcolm X, he was a separatist. At first, he was a separatist. All right? So he was fine. No one gave a damn. Actually, white people was actually helping him. Government, white people was helping Malcolm X when he was a separatist, because he was keeping the black people and the white people separate. Black pride, black power, trying to do in their community what white people had been gained in theirs. So that's what he was doing. But then he said, hey, why don't we be the get-along gang? And then the government officials and whatnot said, oh, no, we can't have that. We cannot have that. So what we need is for you to die. And that's what happened. But they always want white people to accept them. Always want white people to accept us. Always willing to want and say, white people, love us. We love you. Be with us. We'll give anything to you. Please. And white people either have to tolerate us, accept us, or be like, you know, what the white people I love the most. The ones that are like, why are we even doing this anyway? Why y'all got to go through this? Why is there any racism or bullshit like that going on? And they find it absolutely weird, and they find it stupid. It's like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you were all seen as 3/5 of a person? Wait a minute. So they could look at you in your face, in your eyes, and not see you as a human being? That's what the problem was. That's what the issue is. And it's like, wait, so we got it, and those are the ones I love. But everybody else is, we won't accept you, we won't like you. Go back to where you came from, although you've never been anywhere. And we hate you because that's just how it is. It should be that way. Make America great again. Let's go back into the 1800s. Let's do this and let's do the, just hate. And it's like, what the fuck? And we are trying to get these motherfuckers to love us. That's what bugs me. And black people can't wait for, it's like, look, we're trying to change the hearts of the hateful instead of just, why don't we just get rid of them? I mean, they not trying to, that's what Malcolm X was at first. That's why his whole thing was, look, violence, man. They hate us. They trying to kill us. That's what they want to do. So let's give it back to him. Because he was ready to go to the mattresses. That's what he was ready. Malcolm X was ready to go to war. And that's what he was building. He was building a fucking army. And he was ready. He was ready. Mentally, he was there way before anyone knew it. It took some shit. He had to go and, like, I'm going to see Mecca. And that segues into the religious aspect for me, man. I'll probably save. I'm gonna save that one for a different topic. I'm gonna save the religious thing for a different day, because that's its own thing, and I got a lot about that. Today, is it really any different? Should it be any different than what Malcolm X was at first trying to do? Because no matter what, the good-hearted, the fair-minded, forward-thinking white people out there will always be overshadowed by the hateful. And it doesn't matter if the mass majority are the forward-thinking ones. It could be 200 million whites to 25 hateful whites. And for some reason, those hateful whites will have a bigger voice than them. That's what I don't get. I will never understand that. Why don't the decent-minded ones speak the fuck up? And sometimes they do. On Ripley, this is, man, I was a little embarrassed. See, me, I don't know how I fit with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. I really don't, because it's they call it a recent movement. The movement's been kicked in since, I think, after about 150 years of slavery. That whole movement started. It started way back then. Black Lives Matter. We're trying to say we matter just as much as the white people. You know? And it wouldn't have got started if somebody wasn't killed wrongfully. It wouldn't have happened. Am I inciting violence? Who isn't? Who isn't? Because is peace and love getting the job done? Is it? I mean, really think about it. Is it? It's going out. If you see some hateful racist, okay, for example, Jim Crow laws and whatnot. I can't remember the dude's name. We spoke about it before I started recording. I'm just going to bring it back up. The white dude that lost his job went out, blamed black people, found the first black people he could, which was a couple, on the sidewalk, and he started just calling them the N-word and screaming at them and all other racial epithets, all kinds of stuff. Just being as nasty as he could. Black dude knocked him the fuck out.
And he was justified.
He was
right.
so justified, but he
got punished.
He went to prison while the hateful, racist, possible riot starting, asshole got off scot-free with some sympathy. He cost himself his job. He was the one doing the illegal stuff and got fired. He's lucky that's all he got. And he blamed on the black dude. Black dude knocked him out. I'm like, whatever happened to, words are seen as assault. Because I know for a fact, in a lot of white court cases, a lot of them, when someone's like, fuck you, or, you and your people make me sick, that's inciting a riot, that's inciting violence, that's making someone afeared for their life or safety on the job or whatnot. It's seen as violence. So why in the hell can this dude throw these brutal words and false accusations at somebody that ain't got nothing to do with them, and nothing happens? Nothing. That's why I say there's like Jim Crow laws and stuff going on. That's why when a white person can walk up to a crowd of black people with the N-word in the on their shirt and nothing happens. He is literally and factually inciting a riot. That is literally trying to start a riot. That is trying to start a fight. That is instigating everything.
It should equate to hate speech.
But in this country, we protect hate speech. We protect the hateful. That's what sickens me so damn much. Anyone can go up and say any horrible thing that'll incite some kind of fight or something. They'll say they can say what they want. They can do what they want, but you can't put your hands on them. Why not? Words. And I get it. I'm not a saint. I ain't a saint. I know words hit just like a fist. I get that. That was the message growing up, and I've been knowing that because all I ever got was bad verbiage growing up. But I'm just saying, why is it we can't... Why do we have to protect that shit? That's what I don't get. Why do we have to protect verbal violence?
Because it's all a matter of who's going to be in control.
Who's in control?
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so I agree with you. If you're going to be spouting hate, no. That should be illegal. You should be able to go, okay? But then, and I think this is why they always call this a slippery slope. Say you have someone who's a despot, but he's an intelligent one, say like Stalin. Then you could not be spewing hate speech. You could just be saying, Stalin is not good for our people. He's killing us. It's not going to be like, you know what? That's hate speech. Kill him.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a matter of who is in control. So you have to make some kind of a law that is across the board where there's that dividing line. Yeah, it's hate speech, but it's freedom of speech unless they put their hands on you. I get it. It's not always great. It does not fit every situation at all. But then it keeps people from like Trump. Oh, you talked about my hair. Your whole family disappeared.
Yeah, that's what Trump wants. He wants to be a dictator.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it. Actually, he has gotten it. He has gotten it. Trump is a symptom of the virus of hate that America was
Born under.
yes, literally born under the banner of hate. One of the biggest accomplishments. Now, just think about this. Think about this. I'm just gonna go through this quick. Columbus is seen as a hero, the one that founded America. They don't want to talk about anything else, but all the shit that he did, all of the nasty, grotesque, genocidal crap, inhumane things that he did to people that didn't even know him, that probably would have actually they accepted him, and he like literally a comic book villain. They accept me. They want to welcome me. I'm going to ruin everything. The fools, they have no idea what's in store.
And he did it.
He did it. I mean, classic characters from comic books. This is crazy, man. It's crazy. You got him, and then you got, I might be getting the presidents wrong, but he was cited when I was in fourth grade in social studies. In our book, it was I can't remember who was in charge, who the president in charge of the Trail of Tears. Who was that? Andrew Jackson. Okay, I keep wanting to say Thomas Jefferson. I don't know why. I think because my dad's name is Thomas. And I like the Jeffersons. But it just goes, okay, all right, it's weird in my head. Okay, right brained here. But
yeah, it was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. In our book, he was cited as a savior of history, as the one that chased off the most invading Indians in history.
That's how you had a textbook from Texas.
The largest invasion of Indians in history. Those who were deemed as savages, not the law-abiding Indians. All right? It was never called the Trail of Tears at first. All right? It was like the Indian Reservation Trail or something like that. That's what we had learned. Later it became the Trail of Tears. I think when by sixth grade, it was called the Trail of Tears because the land had dried up. There was nothing left. And it wasn't Indians. It was people in general. The Indians, the colonials, all of that had to travel it for new land prospects because there was nothing left. It was done. It was like the first Dust Bowl, as they called it, as it was in the books. And they traveled this, and they lost so many young and old, and people and women wept and mourned almost the whole trip. That's why they called it the Trail of Tears. That's why they did that shit. That's history books.
A whole nother post right there.
Yes, it's like a whole nother. And then you grow up learning. Whoa, no, that's not what it is. I can't cite what it is and give it full justice. I can't.
The Trail of Tears?
Yeah, you can. You did some digging on that a while ago. Mm-hmm. You can cite why it's the Trail of Tears right now, if you can.
So, I want to say it's in South Carolina. It might have been the North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia area, but I don't know for sure. Gold was found where the natives were living. Okay? Know how Europeans and colonialists feel about gold.
Them gold in them there hills.
So gold was found in them there hills on Native American land. Native Americans who had been there forever, but is in the United States. So they had to go. And a lot of these Native Americans were ones who had done everything that they could to adopt the lifestyle of the majority whites. They, lived in houses, they wore the clothes, everything that did not matter. They had to go. So they rounded them up, and I believe they trekked them to Oklahoma. I think that's where they had to settle. On foot. They had to walk it. No food, very little food. We know what they could take with them, very little water. I mean, you're trekking across states, different climates, different weather, not having the proper clothes. People died. Thousands upon thousands died along the way. And they had to leave them. Their loved ones fell, and they had to leave them where they fell. You know, they're not going to give you time to bury your dead. They didn't give a damn. All for some gold. Now, Cherokee, North Carolina, if I understand correctly, isn't a reservation because the Cherokee bought their land. Now, they owned it. They already owned it. They had been living there for generations. But when this whole brigade came through, you got to go, they hid in the hills, in the mountains, so they would, you know, not be forced to go on this trail of tears. Scrounged together all of their money and gave it to a trusted white man and said, please buy back our land from the government. And they did, which is why Cherokee, North Carolina is not a reservation. It's theirs because they had to buy back the land they already own under the guise of a white man doing it.
And that's why that happened. See, I couldn't have possibly done it nearly that much justice. I really couldn't. I might do the make that an excerpt and just post that on its own because that was deep. But that's just amazing, isn't it? That Native Americans, native to this land, did everything they could to fit in with white people back then, and it wasn't enough. I think it was just enough for them not to be called savages. And I ain't gonna lie, when I hear that word, when I say that word, it's I don't even really use it in context anymore. If I write a story, I'm not I can't see myself using it.
Yeah, I don't use it either when
I
write.
Yeah, I just can't. It's hard. I find any other word.
There's so many you can choose from.
Oh, there's a lot. You just go to
so
thesaurus.
It's no problem.
Wicked, vile, cruel, destructive, villainous. You know,
Barbaric.
Yeah, barbaric. You know, a lot of words. A lot of words. But that's the thing that Malcolm X was also, he was talking about. I don't want to say preaching about. Preaching has a bad connotation to me, kind of. But he was talking about how, you know, who taught you to hate you? You know, who taught you to hate the way your nose looked? Who taught you to bleach your hair and straighten it, you know, to fit in with something? Who taught you to, you know, hate the complexion and darkness of your skin? Who taught you to hate your fellow black man, your fellow black woman? Who taught you to hate? You know, who did? Because no one, as he said, no one's teaching the white man or the white woman to hate how they look. But you know what? It's not true anymore. White people are taught to hate themselves. They are. To an extent. Because they want to, there's a lot of, damn it, that hurt. There's a lot of white people that want to fit in with black people. They do. They just want to say, hi, can we be friends? Share some sports, share some stories. You know, have a family outing or something. Be civil. They want that so much. And then the black people are so jaded from how the hateful white people have treated them. They're like, go on somewhere, man. Anybody want to be with you? Fuck you. You so white. You so white. Nobody wants your white ass here. And that's what they hear. And they go home looking themselves in the mirror and be like, I don't like the way you look. Look at themselves right in the mirror. I do not like the way you look. You know, and some will just get the deepest tan they can. Some will do whatever they can. Some have actually tried, you know, dyeing their, like, you know, the weirdest tattoos I've seen in history. Getting mocha or cocoa or just plain chocolate tattoos and what. It's weird, man. It happens. Or let's go what's really worse than that, because that's just a little bit. That's a tiny bit. No. Self-image shaming. When you got your average white dude or white girl and they watching TV, and what's seen as beautiful up there? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I look at TV, all them white people look the same. Because that's what they do. Like, you watch Disney shows and movies, They make sure the girls are roughly in the same age. They got the same type of makeup, the same cut and styled hair. It's almost like anime. All you gotta do is just the same face, same eyes, just change the hair color and hair design. That's it. And they make sure they're in that range.
And they behave the same way.
They
either have a heart of gold and they never do any wrong, or they're like, I don't like you because I'm better. Those are two personalities.
I'm a cheerleader. You're supposed to like bow down to me.
Those are two personalities you see, and that's it.
And that's what they get, and that's what these kids see and grow up. And it's like they don't turn out to look like that. Then they have to question themselves. Corporations, big corporations and whatnot, Disney, they teach people, white people, to hate themselves. They teach that mess.
They also teach black kids that's what they should look like. That's all they see, and that's what they want to look like. Because
how else are you going to fit in? They look like that, and they got friends. I want those friends. I want to do those things too. So let me look like that.
And this bridges into...
The French did it too with their runway models, the scrawny, tall-ass runway models.
And now even the European countries are moving away from the scrawny-ass, unhealthy runway models as their symbol of what beauty is. Because it's not beautiful. If you want that, you can get, Eduardo the skeleton, all bones for a medical class, to run down the runway in some sort of a dress, because it's not that different.
No, it's not.
They're not healthy. Literally. They don't have any weight on their bodies. Bodies need some fat to function. They need more than cigarettes, coffee, and hyped up on goofballs to make it.
Goofballs. Yeah.
For lack of better phrasing.
We're all taught to hate each other. We're all taught to hate ourselves. We're all taught to hate any and everything that doesn't look like what's on TV. And despite TV and these corporations and these companies teaching white people to hate themselves and all this, yes, but at least they have this. What's on TV is white. That's what's messed up. At least they can say that. No, we got that. At least it's kept. What's the word? What's that word I heard growing up a lot? Pure.
And that's another reason why a lot of black folks, black artists, black directors, black actors and actresses bitch and moan about there not being enough roles for them or enough imagery on TV and in movies, because there isn't anything for the youngest of the black poppies to look at and be like, damn, there's some folks out there that look like us doing stuff too. Which is why shows like Luke Cage and Black Lightning, which is awesome, and
Black Lightning, I got a few issues with Black Lightning because that's such a Cosby show, to an extent.
That's done on purpose. It's done on purpose because they are the parallel between the guy who is Black Lightning and his wife and the household they had set up for their girls is in complete and direct contrast from the whole community and they're in, and it's stark. And I think it's that way on purpose, especially with the oldest girl. Be like, look, I know y'all raised us like this, but this is not working out there.
Yes.
That's why they keep running into roadblocks and pitfalls with what they have set up for their daughters, because their daughters have been raised by them, but living in this community, and it's not this Cliff and Claire Huxtable world, and it keeps causing problems. That's why I think it's important that it's like that, because you see that dynamic. You see it.
I know we can do show reviews and whatnot, and that can be one of them that we talk about.
Okay.
That's cool. I don't mind that. That's all good, baby. I'm just, this whole thing, it branched off from talking about, it's Black History Month. It's just a discussion. That's what we're doing. We're discussing things, So if y'all want to just say something or, comment on what we're saying, look, do so. That's why we have a comment section. If you're going to be a jackwipe about it, then keep your shit to yourself. I'd rather have, a decent, forward-thinking conversation. If you disagree with us, disagree, but don't be like, noob. Don't be like, y'all wrong because you're stupid. Think about it. Use some critical thinking. Be better than these other dumbasses in the comment section on other places on YouTube. Be better than them. You know, that's really what a lot of these black leaders and others want. They want us to be better as a people. Treat each other with some dignity, some respect. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to deliver. You know, I'm gonna be slang, I'm gonna be whatnot as I am, but I'm also gonna have some decency. You know, anyone who comments, you know, I try to comment back. I try to retort or give a thumbs up, or, you know, I'll, you know, give a little heart next to it or something. You know, if I like it that much. I'm trying to be engaging. You know, I see y'all out there. I'm looking at you right now. You don't know it though. Don't turn around. That'd be a horrible situation. But what I say, don't turn around. But we're just having a discussion and going over, you know, Black history stuff. And I'm going to also go over things that I love. Little tiny things. It might be a minute clip here or something, but, you know, just little things that I like in life. This is my birth month, so I want to do some cute things here and there. Maybe share some memories or something. I don't know. Some cute memories that I've had. But is this all you want to say, girl?
Yeah, I got it. I covered it.
You covered it. All right. I don't have much to say except you talking in circles. So, all right. Hey, look. Thank y'all for listening. All right. It was a little therapeutic for me. Whatever y'all got to say, put it down there. Just be respectable about it. All right. You know, don't be a dick. You know, that's the key thing in life. Don't be a dick. So look, this is Cedric Kennedy, Sidra Owens for Comparative Reasoning. Not like the last time. I'll do it this time. Thank you for listening.